Okay, so here's the second video that I was referring to about coding. Now, I know that it is the latest thing. Well, I wouldn't say the latest things, but this is something that a lot of people are talking about, which I will warn you. The more younger children are coding, in the next 10 years or so, instead of entry level making 65,000, it's probably going to go down to making 45,000 or maybe 30,000, just like it did with help desk back in 2005. Doing help desk, technical support, it was somewhere around 45 to 55. Now they are 30,000 or 32,000 because there are so many tech support out here. They come a dime a dozen. Plus, you have AI that is, well, taking over. So that's not to discourage you, because what's going to help you is you want to make sure that you become the developer that no one will want to get rid of you. And you also want to become the developer that creates the best applications, the best web to mobile, things to that nature, for yourself, so that you can have a clientele. That's the whole purpose of being a coder, so that you can, it won't be you could say it's a side hustle, but it could turn into a career for yourself, meaning that you could become your own boss. Like I said, at my job is my boss, he knows that I want to continue to advance in my skills as a programmer. So he provided me a license. It's called Pluralsight. Let me make sure that it is that. Yeah. Sorry if you heard some keys typing. It's called Pluralsight. I'm going to post a link in here. Now, I believe you get 10 days free. It's up to you if you want to purchase it. See, with me, I have full access because of the company, my boss, and he told me that out of the group of 12, he said only him. Well, he said not everybody has access to this. He said even the gentleman who I know who was giving me a hard time, he doesn't have access to this particular site, because he said he knows that I want to do better. He knows that I want to advance, and he is working with me on that. See, here's the catch. I am going to continue to make use of what I'm being offered to benefit myself, because what it's going to do is make me even more focused than what I already am, so that I can use my skills to be of service to others. Now, I do have someone who reached out to me to make an app for a friend of theirs, for a restaurant. What I did ask them, did they want an actual application or did they want the web to mobile format? So when I say web to mobile, basically, for example, if you go to, oh boy, I can't, let's just say Whole Foods. You go to their website on your desktop. If you're walking around and you want to go to Whole Foods on your mobile device, the same thing that you see on your desktop is on your mobile device, but it is catered towards that mobile device. Now, your application, application is something that you would see like these gaming applications, the application, I want to say Instagram, Facebook, heck, stuff like that. Um, I know today the latest thing for building apps is called Xamarin. You could use that. I believe the Microsoft Visual Studios was released. It was recently released last week. It was the 2019 platform, so that because I know that they want to have it so instead of you just building an application for Android, you could be able to build application for Android and Apple. You could just do it all at once. So that's a good thing. So if you want to learn how to build a mobile application, you could go to Pluralsight, or you can go to Udemy, udemy.com. I'm going to post that in the link as well. I kid you not. If you're the type of individual that does not have the finances to go to me, I went to college. Unfortunately, all the stuff that you see right now wasn't available when I went to college. So if you go to Udemy, you can literally pay at least $11 or so for the basics that I learned for 4 years. You can learn it. But as you see in the screenshot, you have to be focused. You have to be confident. You have to be good in math. I wouldn't say an expert, but it is good for you to be good in math because coding does require math. You have to know the operators. You have to know the functionality. You have to say if you want to use a GPS. My best friend Quincy, he created Sprint Stoppers. You could go to Google Play and download Sprint Stoppers, and basically that is used for individuals that run track. It takes into a lot of consideration of your tracking. It takes into consideration of I believe it's the minutes, the miles that you do, or something to that effect. I have to go back and relook at it because I don't run track, but it took a lot of math for him to do. So that is something that you also want to think about doing. AI, he taught himself AI. Right now, I'm trying to teach myself how to do AI. But when it comes to AI, you're going to have a lot of arrays, ARRAY. Once you start learning, you are going to know what arrays means, because with arrays is it works as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So say if you have my name, um, I'm going to use my middle name, Monique, Monique. Normally at the time when you say the number 1, it would be M because it starts with M. That's the first one. With an array, it starts with 0 and then it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to um, get the hang of it. You have to know what a class means. You have to know what a method means. You have to know what your variables are. You have to know what your parameters are. You have to know what your properties are. All that you can learn that from either going to Pluralsight, Udemy, or YouTube. But see, the reason why I say you go to these sites, because the teachers on YouTube, they have a lot of their classes that they like to teach on those websites. Say if you want to go to a coding dojo, I know here in the city of Chicago, if you want to go to Coding Dojo, I believe it's like 13,000, but you only need to put $1,000 down. And if you sign up at a particular time, they will give you an extra 3,000. But however, you will have to code for 8 hours a day for 14 weeks. That's a lot better than going to 4 years and being in debt to the school like I am. I'm serious, which is the reason why. Um, I mean, yes, do I make the money? Yes, I do. It's a good thing. However, say if you're the type of person that you go to school and a lot of companies, they say, yeah, we want someone with entry level. When they say entry level, they mean you have to already be broken in. And also companies, they will probably look at someone who get a certification before they do college, because with college you have to go through so much garbage that you went through in high school, like history and things of that nature. I mean, when my major was programming, and I had to take a history class, and I was upset with my advisor. I said, why in the world am I taking this, and I already went through this in high school? Seriously. And that was a $4,500 class. Okay? So when you go to these coding dojos, they skip all that mess and they put you right into coding. And that is exactly where you want to be. So again, now, I'm going to tell you, the easiest language for you to learn if you want to get into coding is C Sharp. The reason why, it is more readable and it's more understandable. Java, I know Java somewhat, but I didn't delve too deep into it. The reason why it is an older language, and when it comes to Java, you have to spell all of that out. Whereas with C Sharp, you don't have to. So say for example, you have using.system. And Java, you have to make sure that you include that in every code that you, in every method that you make. Whereas in C Sharp, it already comes automatically. So you would have your namespace, know what namespace is. You would have your class, find out what class is. Then you have your variables, find out what variables is. Then you have your parameters, and then you have your method, because your method or your functions. Learn what that means. I'm not going to give too much into details unless you want me to. And if you want me to, then yes, I will make a video about it. But my point of this video is to at least help somebody to get started. Learn C Sharp. That is easier to understand. Once you have grasped that, then you could go to Java or C++ or C. Those are older languages, but they pay big bucks because they're old. And it takes a longer time for you to build. Normally at the time when it comes to, if you just want a dirt cheap entry level, zero experience, they would either start you off with 60,000 or 65,000. Or I'm sorry, 60,000 or 62,000. I know here in the city of Chicago, if you was to Google, I think the average is probably between 60,000. You may have some companies, depending upon the company, that will start you off with zero experience at 75,000. A young lady at my previous company, she had zero experience, but she had a degree, and of course she was Asian, so that did help out. They start her off with 75,000. 75,000. Now I know with me, I have to jump through hoops, but with me, I'm not going to say, but I'll just put it like this. I'm not going to say it, but I'm in her bracket. I'm going to just put it like that. I'm in her bracket, which is a good thing. However, I have the experience. And so my goal is to continue to build. My best friend, I'm trying to get to where he's at. And he had to build his own app. Even though he had a psychology degree, he built his own app, and that put him in the map. That put him on the path that he wanted to be a software developer, and the man is making big bucks. And he encouraged me to get back into me coding, because I did drift away from it. I really did. And one thing about with coding, if you do not use it, you will lose it. Now that is the absolute truth. The absolute truth. So I want you to know the basics. I want you to know what a class is. I want you to know what a namespace is. I want you to know what a variable is. I want you to know what the parameters are. I want you to know what the properties are. I want you to know what does entity framework means. I want you to know how to create a program that says hello world in the UI format. User interface. The best way for you to know about this, go to pluralsight.com, click on the link, or go to udemy.com, click on that link. Or you could just go and look through YouTube videos as well. Learn that, and you will be in a better position to create your own website raw, instead of using DreamWorks or Dreamweaver, which is already an application set up for you. So if you want to create your own website faster, you can. I enjoyed that class, and I'm gonna tell you, when you talk to other developers, they will tell you that building a website is the most easiest, which it is. I swear, building a website, it is, you will be done with that, because it's so easy, because you don't have to put too much thought into it. But when it comes to you using ASP.NET Core, oh, that's a whole nother world, because it's raw data. Oh, also the most important thing, you need to know what OOP means. You have to know what that object-oriented programming language means. You have to know what it is. You have to know what objects are. You know, like for example, if you have var class equals new.class because you want to instantiate it. You have your object, your class. I'm just throwing out just some example from off the top of my head, because I have to look at this crap every day. Also, too, you want to learn database. Building a database is very easy because you have to remember database or studio management. It's nothing but tables that consist of rows and columns. Now, me, I like to code it out, but you can sheet it, by saying, okay, this is the name of my table, this is the name of my columns, and this is what I want to have in these rows and things of that nature. You can cheat that, but I like to code it out. You have to know what an inner join means. You have to know what a left join means. You have to know what a right join means. And that is more, you will be using that a lot. You will be using that a lot. And one thing I know, I had to split my mind because when you talk about the variables or things of that nature, the way how when you code it in Visual Studios, it's a little bit different in studio management. So it's a love-hate relationship that you will have with it. Yes, you will have to work over hours. You will have to be sure that you work in the time frame that was presented to you. It will require you to be focused, and you have to be self-driven. When you have all of those things, you are going to be the best developer out there. So if anyone wants to go into details, want me to go into details about it, what I will try to do is get my buddy with me because he is a whiz at this, and I'm trying to get to his level. Every single day, I'm working very hard so that I can get to his level. And that's why it's good to have supportive groups of people around you that wants to see you get into this field and want you to do better. So I hope you guys like this. Let me know if you want me to go into details, and I will carve out the time to do so. Enjoy your evening.